Happy freaking fantastic Friday. Why is it a freaking fantastic Friday? We're playing Farming Simulator. Just checking out the old John Deere. I thought we would just go back to our roots, so to speak, and just do some good old-fashioned combining. It's also a fantastic, yeah, something, whatever. It's also nice because it's a long weekend. For those of us lucky enough to be in the US of A, a 3-day weekend, indeed. For some, I guess it's your, probably the last day of summer vacation. I think for some schools, this marks the last day of summer vacation. My kids went back. Oh, they went back. When was it? Last week, I think? Oops. Brad, you gotta learn. You got to learn to hit the right button. I'm gonna do one more headland along here, just to make life a little, that much easier for us. But a 3-day weekend ahead, I am super excited about that. I might just work on our Haute Belleron straw. I like the way that that header kind of shifts around on those hills. Kind of cool. I am curious, to say the least, to find out how much straw we're going to collect from Haute Belleron. If you haven't checked out the video yet, wait a minute, does that pipe light come on? Oh no, Brad, wrong button again, buddy. You'll get it. Does it turn off when it folds? No, it doesn't. Okay. Oh, I think that last light is the pipe light. Okay. That's cool. For those of you who haven't watched that 10 combine deal I did with wheat on Haute Belleron, you know, it was curiously, the final total was curiously low. And in fact, after I finished, I really questioned myself if I didn't do something off the mark. Wouldn't put it past myself to have done something horrendously silly. But I checked my stuff, and yeah, it was accurate. It was just around 2.5 million liters for the whole map. Now, I did pin a comment on there about it is just roughly 150 hectares total. So it's not exactly a large, a large map. It's not exactly you know what I'm saying? So maybe that had something, well, maybe nothing. It did have something to do with the final totals. I think I figured it averaged about 16,000 liters per hectare, or per field. Well, that'd be nice if it was per hectare. Actually, that might be. There were several small fields on that map, so anyways, it was what it was. It was just kind of surprising, and maybe that's why it made it a little bit more interesting to do, because of that very reason, that it was surprisingly a small amount. I saw some guesses out there, and I'll tell you, if I didn't guess, I really didn't know what to guess, but if someone had to twist my arm, I would have guessed at least double that, probably 5 million plus, maybe even 8 or 10. So I was pretty surprised about it. Now with the straw, we might be probably talking about a different ball game. But that is what we're gonna find out. I think I'm going to make a part 2 to that, video, and we're gonna do some straw collecting. It kind of gives me a, are you going to line up for me? Why do you not look like you're lining up? Okay. It kind of, boy, I was off on that one. It kind of gives me an excuse to get out the old quick bail. This thing is something, am I not? I'm locked in. Was I not locked in? Am I locked in? I don't know what's going on here. This thing's being squirrely. Yeah, it's just acting kind of funky, isn't it? Well, I guess it finally got in line. I don't even know what to guess for straw, though, either. I don't know. I don't even want to... I might wager a guess at the beginning just to be on the record and see how bad my guess can really be. I have no idea what happened with that line right there. Let's see if we can clean it up a little bit. So I was laughing at a couple of your comments about the street hockey, the street hockey balls. Oh boy, yeah, those things. The more I think about it, the more I really have no idea. I mean, I would say I have no idea why we even bothered using them, but at the same time, what else were we gonna use? You know, we did use tennis balls. I remember tennis balls being introduced into the game at some point. But the problem with the tennis balls, they were a little bit bouncy, you know, and people could really get some slap shots off with a tennis ball. And they weren't exactly particularly great feeling. So no way around it. You were going to get stingers one way or the other. I don't know. Let me just for funsies. Let's clean up this this area right here that it looks like. Oh boy, it looks like I was closed my eyes on that one. I don't know what happened there. Yeah, that's fantastic. I guess that's one word for it, right? I don't know if that's the right F word for what I'm seeing right there. Oh, great. So yeah, another day, another dollar. What are you gonna do? So a 3-day weekend. I always have such big hopes and plans, but they go just as fast as a 2-day, it seems like. It really is a crazy thing, right? How the brain, how good times go fast and bad times go slow, how your brain just kind of messes with you when it comes to time. Just checking out that feeder belt. We might introduce a honeybee header. I was thinking about this before starting the game today while I was doing my skateboarding practice. See, what are you doing, buddy? What are you doing? That's not the line. I'm wondering if 51.8 feet. I guess it's doing okay. I'm kind of wondering, you know, I had this problem on Hope Aileron because I used 10 of these X9s. And on certain fields, it would miss a strip. It's almost like Courseplay wasn't detecting the proper width of the head. And then there were a couple fields where it looked like if you looked at the map and you looked at the needs harvesting, I saw these areas in certain fields where it looked like there was still wheat on them. Like a strip was missed, or maybe a clump in the corner or something like that. And I went back. Ooh, you're taking off on me. I went back to investigate, and there was no wheat there. And I went over the area and over the area, only to find that there was just no wheat there. And then I went under the map, and it looked like there was some wheat. It looked like some of it was under the map. It was kind of weird. And that's a base game map. That's a Giants map, you know? So you'd kind of not expect to see some oddities like that, maybe, but they were there. Kind of reminds me of the old days where trees. Do you remember on FS15, I think it was? When the game was released, you would cut down trees and they would fall. They would fall through the through the ground and end up at the underneath the map. I mean, it did eventually get fixed, but it was quite a fun problem Giants had there. You kind of have to wonder, and I know I've heard this before. Excuse me for 1 minute. I'm just gonna check something with my mic here. Let me put you on mute. All right, sorry about that. So you kind of have to wonder, though, how stuff like that gets missed during testing. And it's not just Farming Simulator. It's a lot of games. And you have to say to yourself, wait a minute, guys, guys and gals, if you did any forestry work on this map at all, you had to have seen the trees falling through the ground. I mean, and it wasn't due to mods. It was literally base game map, base game equipment. Raw dogging it. You're raw dogging it in Farming Simulator. And you just, it kind of baffles your mind, like, did what happened here? And it causes conspiracy theories. You know that, right? It causes conspiracy theories, because then you get the people that are like, oh, Giants knew, you know, they knew about it. They just had to release the game on time. And you know what? I think there's some validity to some of this. I really do, where I think as a software developer, a game developer, I have to believe at some point they have released a game with known bugs that they know exist, of course, but they just didn't have time to get them fixed prior to the release. And it's got to happen. And that's the only thing I can think of that happened. Because otherwise, it's either that, which I think is a lot more understandable. Let's check something out here. Okay, cool. I was just checking to see if that having the soybeans on one side of the head, just making sure that it was only feeding from that side, and the other side was kind of, I don't know what the other side's feeding. Maybe just I don't know what it's feeding. It's feeding something, but not much of anything. Ooh, we're about campy full. We're about full. Let's go dump the load. But you have to, at that point, you just have to say, that it's better. Let me see if I can. Oh yeah. It's better that that would be the case than if it was just missed. Because if something like that was just missed, wow. Just wow. And I was hit with that bug because of course forestry was new. You know, I mean, it was new and interesting, and you wanted to try it out, and you'd go out into the woods and you'd start cutting down trees, and you do the old timber, and then and then they would just disappear. And it made it kind of hard to make any money from doing forestry work when your trees were hanging upside down or literally laying underneath the map. That was also the fun with the exploding log trailers too. That was a blast. I loved that one. I loved being able to play for like 2 or 3 hours and getting your log trailer completely filled up and feeling good about yourself, knowing that you got some good money coming. Saving the game, you go back into it, and the first thing you see are logs flying through the air. And there's nothing you could do about it. That was the frustrating thing, because people were trying, like I was trying to, it's like, where are you going, buddy? That's not lining up. This thing's acting weird, man. But I would see the logs flying in the distance. You know, you maybe be at your farm, you know, when you spawn in, and your logs are like way over, maybe a kilometer away or something, and you'd see them just skyrocketing everywhere, and it was just such a helpless feeling. And you know, I thought, oh, I'm going to be smart, you know, and not save the game and exit it, and speedboat. And you would you try it again, and the same thing would happen. So it was like you were just screwed. You were just screwed. I mean, the way around it was just not to save the game with a loaded log trailer. But it was a tough lesson to learn, depending on exactly how full your log trailer was. I love how how I'm wearing a oh boy, a woodworking, what would you call that, a chainsaw helmet, a lumberjack helmet, I don't know what you call that, in the combine. I must feel like combining is super dangerous, that I need to be geared up for it. Oh boy. So, September is upon us when you watch this, which means officially the Oxbow DLC should be releasing soon, right? Have they given an exact date? Because the last time I looked, it just said releasing in September. And then, of course, we've got the premium pack coming. We all want to be premium users. And then we get to wait another year for Farming Simulator 23. What will Farming Simulator 23 bring? Be kind of curious, for sure. Will they finally introduce guidance steering? And actually integrate guidance steering into the game? Will they do something with the seasons and kind of make that a little bit more interesting than it is. I don't know how much more you could do, but I would like to see crop damage, not driving, but weather-related crop damage and insect crop damage. I mean, if you're making something you're called a simulator, which we all know it kind of is, but it's a game. You got to have some things on there that farmers deal with everywhere, which is weather-related crop damage for sure. Insect damage is massive. Now I understand we do herbicide, but we need more insecticide. We need something for ravenous insects. And what will the base game maps be on the new Farming Simulator 25? Probably kind of your standard Brad. Early liftage. You never want early liftage. I suffer from early liftage. Let's go back and fix that nonsense. Ah, that's better. I would love to see Are you gonna do this to me again? Why are you going so far over? That's so weird. It usually does a much better job lining up than that. I would love to see more animals, more degree of ages and things like that. I think I mentioned I'd like to see small things like, I don't know how small it is or big it is, but an actual flex header. One that actually contours better to the ground and stuff. I think that would be a really, really cool look that you could enable and disable like farmers do. Our combine's getting a little bit dirty. I wasn't really expecting the biggest yield out of this field since we inherited it from the beginning. We didn't really have a chance to do all the goodness that needs to be done for the yield bonus. But I think we'll be okay. The soybeans, a lot of them, if not all of them, I think are going to pig food, if I remember correctly. What a great job this would be. I was watching Mike Mitchell run his X9 that he has on his farm. I think he's only got one of them this year, if I'm not mistaken. But it's had its fair share of problems. Let's go, where's our dumper? We'll bring him to us. How's that? But yeah, he's had problems with the, is it the HD 50F header? Am I saying that right? Is it HD 50F? He's had broken bolts on the older model, and it kind of held up the cutter bar and kept it even. But then they changed the design he was showing, and they got rid of those bolts. But he's had issues with the new design now with breaking other bolts. Yeah, it's always something. And it's, you know, it's not just John Deere. I mean, when he was running all those Fendt Ideal combines, they are beautiful combines too. He had problems with those. He's had software problems with the guidance steering or with the combine itself. Sensor issues where half the feed roller in the front, or not the feed roller, I don't know, what do you call those? Yeah, maybe they are feed rollers. The big black tong things. One of the sensors went out on that, so it wouldn't spin up. So yeah, he's had his share of issues. But I guess now, where are you going? Where are you going? You are locked in. So, huh? That is right on the edge, isn't it? It's actually. What we're gonna try. Let's back them up a little bit. I don't know how this is gonna mess up things, but let's knock off. Let's go to that. Maybe that'll help a little bit. That looks better. We'll see on the next run how things look. But he's definitely had his fair share of things, and he said, of course, getting parts are, I guess, can be difficult, especially for parts that are breaking on multiple machines out there in the world. I don't know how many X9s John Deere sold, or, you know. It's just amazing to me, the technology on these things, and also the cost, the price, the unbelievable amount of money that they are. Pretty epic machines. They really are. Looking around here, see what we got. Whoa, it's pulsating. our soybeans are breathing. They're alive. Gotta watch where I'm going. Yeah, this would be a good office, wouldn't it? It's a lot nicer than the office I have. Holy cow. I'd take this office any day of the week. Any day of the week over the office I have. Not that I should complain that much. I'm a fortunate person with the job I have and stuff, but at the same time, where are you going, buddy? That is just not right. Something is clearly not right. Show us dots, no. Yeah, why are you going all the way over there? Alright, well, you do what you gotta do, I guess. You do what you gotta do. It's still just not. Let's see how that does. Ooh, that's a nice pile right there. Yeah, that's still not quite right, but I guess we'll take it. We're about done. So what do you all feel about the working speed mod? I think it's a PC Mac only mod, but it allows you to, when you buy a piece of equipment, like let's say when you buy this John Deere header, it adds the ability to, I think it's up to double the default working speed. I was thinking about enabling that on Tranquil Waters and giving that a go for a few things. It ended up coming in handy when I was doing the Hope Belleron Wheat Festival. I didn't even think about that mod, and then I knew that I was going to have to go around the map and clean up all the missed wheat, which wasn't that significant, but I wanted to be as accurate as I could be, and I didn't want to leave clumps of wheat out there unharvested. And I thought, you know, what's the fastest way to do this but be accurate? And then I reminded myself that there was this, the working speed mod, and so I enabled it, and it was pretty handy, I must say. It was nice to be able to run one of these things. I don't know, what is this thing set for? 6 or 7 miles an hour, is it? But I could line this thing up at, I could run this thing at 12 miles an hour, I think it was. And it just made my life so much easier towards the end there when I had to, because, you know, these missing spots were all over the place on the field, so even if I teleported the machine from one field to another, I still had to run up and down and things. And yeah, that working speed mod, it's not as unrealistic as fast farming, where you can pretty much go as fast as, you know, the driving speed or the road speed would be. It's a little more realistic than that, where it doesn't just open it up like that. It kind of, like I said, I don't know what it bases it on, if it's just double. I would like to see a honeybee header on this thing, though, I think. We'll have to keep an eye on the used market, maybe, because they are not cheap. Maybe we'll get sponsored. Maybe we'll get a sponsorship from Honeybee, and we can run a Honeybee header on the cheap. Yeah, I think I was running this thing at just about 12 miles an hour, which obviously is not realistic, but at the same time wasn't quite as goofy looking as 24 miles an hour or 32 miles an hour. That is a wrap on the soybeans, I guess, huh? Yes, indeedly doodly. And it looks like we've got some pretty good straw windfields, or straw windrows waiting for us. I did want to mention, if I've had some people ask, yeah, I see it. Is that the only thing missing, pretty much? All right. I'm here. I've had some people ask on and off about mods that I'm running. I really don't want to do a mods list and keep up a mods list, because those things are, it's just going to be horrifically. I see you. Oh, I see you. They're just so hard to keep up and a lot of work, and it's just not something I can see myself doing and keeping up with. But that being said, if you want to know about a mod that I'm using and you're curious about what the mod is, definitely give me a shout out in the comments, and I'll be more than happy to point you in the right direction. There's been a lot of times when I've been watching somebody's video and have just really wanted to know where they got a mod or something, or what map it was or whatever, and it's always nice to be able to find what you're looking for. I'm too close, aren't I? You're too close, Brad. You done got too close. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. It's not gonna happen. Oh, great. Let's go here. Let's try this again. That's a little better. The TARDIS by Ornata. Great trailer. 200,000 liters for this little guy. Plus a trailer hitch. So if you really want to have some fun, attach about 5 of these things. Oh, speaking of, TBG, thanks for the reminder on this. I did load this and enable it because I think we're probably going to end up using it. This 53-foot drop deck trailer from Mack Trucker. If I remember right, we used this thing out on Hinterland towards the end. I don't remember if we used it just for a bale trailer or what we did. I think it might have been either a bale trailer or we used it. I honestly can't remember. I think it might have been a bale trailer, but it's a sweet deal. I mean, it's a buy one does all trailer. I mean, you've got tanker, you've got logs, flatbed for that. You've got tipper, plus all the unrealistic quantities you could ever possibly want. 750,000 liters, 1,000,000 liters. I mean, hello. Whoa, wait. 1, 2, 3. Okay, all right. I was looking at that going, you got to be kidding me. I remember this working really, really well on Hinterland, though, and it's a pretty trailer. These LED flashers in the back are pretty sweet. So we got that enabled and loaded. That's probably going to come in handy down the road. Let's take care of our old JD, get it out of the way. Oh, there's our header trailer. That's not gonna work. Maybe if I lined it up a little bit better. There we go. Thank goodness Giants fixed the header trailers in the game. If you've played this game long enough, you know exactly what I'm saying. Yeah, I'm a little off, aren't I? You think that'll work? I think it'll work. Let's see if it'll work. There. What the heck was that, man? That's fantastic. That tells you how good Giants fixed it, even for people like me who completely miss. I didn't think I was that far off. Boy, that baby flipped back on there. It's like some seriously strong magnets or something going on there. That's absolutely fantastic. I love Farming Simulator for so many reasons, and that be one of them. Let's go do a quick dump at our pig silo. I think that's what we need for at least part of it. Let's go find out. TMR. Piggy, piggy, piggy. Here, piggy, piggy, piggy. Yeah, piggy, piggy. All right, let's take a peek. Wheat, soybeans. Oh yes, we've got sugar beets coming. Lovely. I think we can get wheat, soybeans, and sugar beets right there. That's what we're shooting for. The rest of these soybeans can probably go to our new pig mixer right there. But let's hold off on that for a bit and see how things go. So when we come back to Tranquil Waters, we're going to be doing some sugar beet action. Not a very big field, so it shouldn't be too bad. I think we're going to get the old school sugar beet action going. I think we're probably just going to do that kind of thing. That's a topper, correct? $6 miles an hour and 11 miles an hour. All right. What about you, buddy? 6 miles an hour, 5.4. That might not be bad. If we can find a... All right, well, we'll figure it out. I might look at mods too, but I think we're probably just going to do the old school tractor one. And you know what? It might be a good way for us to test that working speed mod out and see if we can add a little oomph to it. But hey, everyone, I want to thank you again for being awesome, for leaving awesome comments, hilarious comments. Sometimes I got to be careful where I read them because sometimes I'm at work and I have a few minutes and I'm looking at YouTube Studio and I'm reading some of your comments and I'm sitting at my desk and I'm just kind of laughing out loud and people are, well, I think they don't ever question what I'm doing because I think they expect the least from me, but that's all good. But thanks so much for definitely making my day. Thank you so much to all the new subscribers. You all are awesome as well. And of course to all the existing ones. You all have an amazing Friday. Take care of yourselves and make sure you take care of each other. Hopefully I will see you this weekend with some more vids. And if you do have a Labor Day weekend, congrats. Enjoy your long weekend. Much deserved, I'm sure. And I will see you back here on Tranquil Waters for sure Monday. We'll do a Labor Day video for sure. But take care, everyone. I'll see you soon. Bye for now.